Today is, at some level that we don't understand, a big day for reefer addicts. Josh and I are so lost on this topic.
I thought we understood. Turns out we know nothing.
We mentioned earlier that, the two of us, Josh and I, we don't dial into such stories. Neither one of us are all that concerned one way or another about marijuana. But for me personally, every night on the news, there was some kind of a, hey, hang on to something. Here comes the marijuana this or the marijuana that, right? And we both assumed that on August 1st today, it was going to be the wild friggin' West.
Yeah, you could buy it, bring it, whatever. You could do whatever you wanted with it.
So yesterday, after our show was over, we walked into the lobby to hang out with the younger people, Ashley and Wappel and Dana. And we said, hey, tomorrow, are you excited? And they all said, not really.
For what?
We didn't. So here's the deal. Minnesota law has decided this or that concerning growing weed or something. I can't understand it, so we're going to find out what the hell is going on from a professional whose livelihood relies on knowledge of this subject. First, here's Dana, live from a joint called Highnorth Dispensary in Uptown. What's up, bruh?
This place is gorgeous, you guys. I love this place.
Is it a beautiful thing?
Yeah, it is really beautiful. I think people, we were just talking about this a little bit ago with some of the employees here. I think people have an idea of, they think a dispensary is going to be like some hippie's basement, it's a drug rug hanging on the wall and some Doors record playing or something. But this place is bright and beautifully decorated and gorgeous. It's awesome in here.
Well, that's nice.
You're right. That's not what I would have expected. Now, is there a door, or is it just kind of a string of beads that you walk through on the way in? Lava lamps everywhere, that kind of thing.
No, it's beautiful. It's bright. It's big. It's really cool in here. I don't know what any of this stuff is I'm looking at, but it looks really cool.
What Floyd record are they playing in the background?
Grateful Dead.
I see that you posted a picture on Twitter, Dana, of the table and all the snacks. So you're located by the front door, I'm guessing?
Yeah, right by the front door. Got a pile of Pringles. I'm on my fifth edible and a pile of Rice Krispie treats, so we're hanging out here.
Have you had an edible? Or I'd imagine they've got that kind of stuff there, right?
Oh yeah, they've got everything you could want here. But no, I have not partaken. I'll leave that for Wappel.
So that's what confused us. Nick and I thought you could buy whatever you wanted today, in whatever amounts they sell in other parts of the country.
Right, yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah, I thought the same thing. I thought, there'd just be joints everywhere and just like a Uncle Scrooge money bin full of weed. But no, apparently that's not quite the case yet.
So this joint, Highnorth Dispensary, in Uptown, where exactly are you? And they've opened. Have they opened the doors early for you?
They did, yeah. It's located right on Hennepin and 28th, right in Uptown.
Okay.
So There's a nice parking lot, too, so you don't have to worry. I know a lot of people, when they think about coming to Minneapolis, they stress about parking, but they got a nice big parking lot for everybody to come drop their car off when they come to get their necessities.
Is it right on the corner?
Yep, right on the corner.
Is it on that would be northwest corner?
Yeah, that sounds right.
I think if that's the case, that's the old Condom Kingdom.
Oh!
You might be right.
Yeah, I wonder if that's the same building. You guys remember Condom Kingdom?
Yes, I do.
No.
Oh, scandalous. I remember as a kid.
I'm old enough to remember Condom Kingdom. Wasn't it right next door to the Newt Capet?
Yeah, it was right. Yeah, New Capet was just down the road on 28th.
Okay.
Yeah, I grew up in Minneapolis, so we used to spend a lot of time in Uptown. And we'd go to Kin Do across the street, awesome Vietnamese place, sadly closed now. But that... I wonder if that's the same building. Do we have Tyler on, the owner?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, Tyler Thompson he's the owner of Highnorth Dispensary. He's also with us to clear up all the confusion, because we are confused. Thanks for jumping on the line with us, Tyler.
Hey, good morning, guys. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, you sound like you're fresh out of high school.
Yeah, no kidding.
I get that a lot.
Yeah, you sound like a young buck. How old are you?
I just turned 30.
Jesus criminy.
And you have 3 stores already?
That's awesome.
We are failures.
We do, yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, we're excited about it.
That's really
But yeah, it's funny
impressive.
that you mentioned King Do. It's funny that you mentioned King Do because we're actually in the building that used to be King Do. So we're right next door to that old restaurant.
Oh, okay. So, yeah,
That's
then
great.
you're on the opposite side. Okay, yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Awesome. Well, that's great. I mean, is this your newest store or what order? Because you got Inver Grove, Cottage Grove, and then Uptown.
Yeah, Inver Grove has been around for a long time. So we opened that one in 2013. And at the time, it was just e-cigarettes, and we've since transitioned into cannabis and CBD as that kind of progressed when the 2018 Farm Bill passed and things like that. But then we opened Cottage Grove about 18 months ago, and Uptown is our newest location. We just opened it about maybe 6 months ago.
So you opened the first joint when you were 23 friggin' years old.
Holy cow.
Yeah, I was pretty young at the time.
What a bunch of losers we are.
Where was the first one?
Badass.
Where was the first one? I'm sorry.
First one was in Inver Grove Heights.
See, yeah, Inver Grove Heights. Huh?
Well, thanks for joining us.
Yep, that was fun.
So, good for you. Congratulations, and thanks for allowing the Uptown joint to open the doors a little early for Dana. And again, he's going to be hanging out there if you want to swing by and get your goods. He's got some munchies he'll hand out to you.
We were happy to have him. I mean, he was passing out snacks, so we were hungry.
Well, yeah. Well, we thought that'd be appropriate, right, to bring some munchies and stuff down.
100%.
And you guys obviously were nice enough to host the event. But so kind of to follow up on what Nick was saying in the intro, and I apologize, Tyler, but we're very confused as to what has changed today versus tomorrow. And we were hoping you could kind of clear that up because we had thought it was a free-for-all starting today.
Right.
And that's not necessarily the case.
Yeah, it's not the case, and a lot of people are confused about this, so I'm happy to be able to kind of shed some light on it. So basically what happens today, more or less, is you're allowed to start home growing, and the possession rules change, so it becomes kind of decriminalized. So the possession rules, meaning you can have up to 2 ounces on your person in public, 800 milligrams of edibles in public, or 8 grams of concentrate, but you won't be allowed to actually purchase legally cannabis products, like recreational adult use cannabis products, until probably first quarter of 2025. And the reason for that is they have to set up the Cannabis Management Board, an apparatus that's going to regulate cannabis in Minnesota. And that's not going to happen probably for another 6 to 12 months. And from there, that's when stores like mine can start to apply for permitting for the actual recreational dispensary licensure. In the meantime, they probably will start licensing growers and other facets of the industry so that they can get a jump start. But it's going to be quite a while until you can buy recreational cannabis here in Minnesota still.
What a process, man.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
So the edibles you sold yesterday, are they in higher concentration today, or is the loss still the same?
The concentration of edibles is still the same for right now. So, for example, last year, in July 1st of last year, they passed a law that basically made hemp-derived traditional THC legal in edible formats. So you could have edibles up to 5 milligrams per serving and 50 milligrams per package were available and legal to be sold on the open market in Minnesota. And so that's kind of what we're still piggybacking off of. Now, there are some fantastic products in that category, and just because it's hemp-derived doesn't mean it's less powerful. THC is THC. So depending on where if you're deriving it from hemp or you're deriving it from cannabis, the THC is the same. The only difference there is, how much actual biomass or raw material do you need to yield an X amount of THC.
I'm following you completely. So to complicate things further, people are wondering, well, what is delta then, and the different numbers of delta?
Yeah, so delta is actually referring to the legs of hydrogen on the molecule. So when you're looking at delta 9, which is traditional THC, like when you think of cannabis, when you think of weed, you're thinking of delta 9 THC. The only reason that we're now kind of distinguishing between delta 8, delta 9, delta 10 is because, scientists and technology has gotten to a point where we can isolate those particular THCs. And the kicker there was delta 9 THC was the only federally controlled THC. So because they could isolate the delta 8 to the delta 10, that was no longer controlled federally, so it was legal in a fringe gray area market.
My God,
Yeah.
I have
How do
no
you keep
idea
up
what
with
you're saying. But don't get me wrong, you're being very clear and precise, and we appreciate that. I just don't know the language, and I have to find out about your beginnings. How did this become a passion for you? What led you to take an interest? Was this a family endeavor? I have to know how you learn all of these specifics so well.
Well, I think it's just, time teaches. So I think, I started way back in the day with e-cigarettes, and we've kind of moved away from that now. And when CBD came on the market, we were kind of interested in how that could be part of our business at the time. And after kind of seeing all the technological advancements and all the benefits of CBD in general, we were really excited about that industry and kind of poured everything into that. And that naturally progresses from CBD into hemp-derived THC, into cannabis. So it was a natural progression for us, for my team and for myself. And, we're just really happy to be part of this kind of on the ground floor in Minnesota and being part of something special.
It must be pretty friggin' exciting. It must be exciting to be, all of a sudden, weed is out behind the curtain, so to speak. I mean, you must be thrilled.
Yeah, I'm thrilled. I think the people of Minnesota are thrilled. I think it's something that being able to, like you said, kind of pull the veil on this, really allows people to experiment and see how, more natural options can help them with whatever they're dealing with. Having alternatives to alcohol available in Minnesota, I think, is important. And I think people are starting to take notice of that. So we're just really excited to be part of something that's helping people and that people are excited about. And it's hard not to be a romantic about that.
Well, I can tell you, Tyler, I mean, I was telling these guys off the air yesterday, I got a couple buddies that almost have completely switched from alcohol to the THC seltzers. That's their thing now.
No doubt. I hear that all the time. That's a super common thing that we hear about at our stores and just from people that I chat with on the street, too.
Are you selling that stuff, too?
Yeah, we have a wide selection of seltzers, probably 60 or 70 different options in stock right now at our stores. And then we have all the different edibles. We have, our thing is, we custom formulate our edibles for particular kind of nuanced effects. So we have a lot of different varieties of edibles, probably 60 options.
Sure.
That's kind of what we're known for.
And Tyler, you guys make a lot of your edibles, don't you, too?
So we work, because the volume that we produce is so high, we don't really have a capability to do these in super small batches, but we do work with a local co-packer that we design all the recipes and the inputs, meaning the actual THC that's in there, and the recipe of like how much THC, how much CBD, what terpenes, things like that. And then we source that out to a really high caliber co-packer that shows us consistent results. And so that just provides consistency, but like low level customization as well.
You know what's hilarious about this is pot smokers are labeled as dumb.
Well, that's what I was saying earlier. That's not fair. We're totally lost on this.
I would have to take years of college to be able to comprehend this.
You were talking about molecules and stuff.
It's fascinating.
Oh, you learn the lingo over time.
I don't know.
So, Highnorth, if I show up at Highnorth, and I've never used Tyler. Never once. So if I walked in there, can you say, I've never tried anything, what do I try? I mean, can you recommend something?
100%. Yeah, 100%. I mean,
and
I
would
would
you do
say,
it sarcastically, or would you really be looking out for it?
No, our goal, we don't make a living making people have bad experiences. So, when you walk in, if you tell us that, if you walk in and tell me that you try something and you're not sure and you want to take it easy, we have options that are super low dose. We have options that are kind of moderate. Our staff is specifically trained to be able to kind of walk you through that process, ask you the questions to make sure that the product that we're recommending to you is going to give you the best experience for what you're looking for.
What would you recommend?
And not everyone's the same.
What would you recommend for Josh, who's never had a joint stick in his yet?
Never done any drug whatsoever, ever.
For sure. Well, naturally, I would suggest probably either a low-dose gummy or probably a beverage would be a good choice as well.
What's a low dose? What does that mean to me?
A low-dose gummy would be a 5 milligram serving. And if you're someone who is not sure about what your tolerance level is, I would even say you could cut that in half if you wanted to and just, take it slow. We always recommend taking it slow from the get-go just so you can kind of understand your particular tolerance. Everyone's is different. I'm 6'1", probably 240, and my tolerance is pretty low, surprisingly.
Really?
So, but there are some people that we have that are, young women that have an extremely high tolerance. So it's all about just kind of discovering what's right for you. And our staff can really help give you suggestions and help give you a nuanced experience to make sure you get what you need.
Can I drink one of those beverages with a straw?
Absolutely. I hear it tastes better that way anyway.
What about ordering online? Dyslexic Jesus wants to know, is that legal? Can we order from you guys?
You definitely can order online. Our online store is about to launch at the end of this month. So we've been working on it for quite some time, and we're excited to launch it in the end of August. But right now, You can call in an order. Otherwise, we suggest stopping in. It's going to give you the best experience overall.
Okay.
You're just buried in college girls, aren't you?
Not even close. I'm happily engaged.
Oh!
This is interesting. So this person texted in and said they talked to a cop buddy saying you can't buy weed, but you can buy a napkin drawing I just made for $50, and it would be legal for me to gift you a bag of weed with that napkin drawing.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that trick before.
I can't speak to that.
Okay. We don't want to get the guy in any trouble. Well, this has been absolutely what we were looking for, really.
I'm glad.
Yes, we have very little understanding, at least Josh and I have very little understanding of what's going on with the marijuana laws. And to have you dump all your knowledge on us is very helpful.